Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. So I was listening to an interview, done by some UK media personnel, a gentleman and a woman, and a lady, or a man and a woman, based in the UK, and they were interviewing the Guyanese president. I think his name is Dr. Muhammed Ali. Yes, to the namesake to the late great and gifted boxer Muhammad Ali. And let me tell you, if I could shake his two hands and his 2 feet, I certainly would. I'm talking about the Guyanese president. He answered them remarkably beautiful. I have to use hyperbole for you to understand the magnitude of how he handled himself. He sounded like a president in my that sounded like somebody who is fervent, a level 5, as John C. Maxwell talk about, type of president. I don't know him. I don't know how he runs and mans the country, but just listening to him, this is a well-read and a brilliant man. And his critical thinking skills was above par. It was excellence par excellence. And I'm going to paraphrase everything, obviously. And the interviewers, I don't know if they were being slick or they really have to delve in and dig in to get in information and answer. So the gentleman proceeded to ask the man, why is it that the descendants of the white supremacists ancestors have to pay for the crimes they had committed, the atrocities they have committed? A long time has been passed. People have been so-called emancipated and freed. Why is it that they would have to be remunerated, basically? Why is it that repatriation is needed and reparation, where we talk about giving monies to the descendants of the slaves? And he said, there is no two ways about it. Let me answer that. One, they stole time from us. If you talk to billionaires and millionaires and other business gurus, they will tell you they can deal with losing money, but not time. Time is more than money, because they know that we only have a rope in terms of our longevity here on this planet. So they know that they need time. Time is what they need to garner and to safeguard the monies, the investments, passing down generational wealth to our children's children and enjoying some of it before we depart earth. So time is what they have stolen. He also mentioned that they took away from us our culture. When we look across the Caribbean, it's a mixture of culture. Look at Jamaica. That is why our motto is out of many, one people. It's a mixture of Indian, a mixture of Chinese, a mixture of white, a mixture of black, mixture of the Spanish. And I'm not saying something is wrong with that, because I agree with this white lady, elderly white lady, who said the only race is a human race. We're one people. But it would be nice to see a distinction in the different cultures. And yes, we can come together and have a wonderful celebration in showcasing our culture. When we look at Emancipate, when we're having the Grand Gala, and we look at the different cultures that come together, you can see the distinction with when they have the Chinese and the Japanese and all of that. Or it's a mixture of a blend of different things. It's like there's no deep root or deep-seated authentic black culture. I mean, they're going to say it's African with the kumina and the pok, and I'm not really into that. I mean, people have their right to do what they have to do, because those things, I mean, not to say that others don't invoke spirits and all that. That's my personal feeling on it. But we never got an opportunity to really delve into it. We understand where it is coming from, like when we hear the Negro spirituals, the black gospel singing and all of that. So we lost our culture, we lost our dignity. They stole our dignity from us. To this very day, with systemic racism, black people still feel inferior to white. We see it here pervasive in our country, Jamaica. When we see somebody black comes and let's just say, for example, they disrespect you. Just giving an example. You take the skin off that black person and put it back on and take it off and sew it back on. A white man comes and disrespects you, you just cower. No, I don't want to trouble a white man. I don't want to trouble a white woman. To this very day, our dignity, our pride. And I'm not talking about the people who talk about pride. I'm talking about that sense of purpose, that sense of, self has been snuffed out from us during slavery, and we still feel the effects of it. That's a very ridiculous question for the man to ask, because he knows that once a seed has been sown and has been watered and a big tree has been grown up. It's something that will spread like wildfire, like cancer. And he said, injustice. When the man, I don't remember the next question that he asked, he was saying, oh, put a dollar figure to the amount, and then the lady had to ask again. And he said, well, it's easy, just calculate, over 200 years of slavery and whatnot, and calculate time against that. It's going to be in the billions, because the lady was asking if it's millions. It's, as a matter of fact, Sarim never said trillions. Maybe he felt a little bit cute. He should have said trillions, based on the atrocities. And he's right. Slavery is the worst unjust act that has ever been done to humankind, to the black race predominantly. Some minor, some like the poor whites and the Indians, they did face their own atrocities. Don't get me wrong. But slavery across the board is the worst unjust act. The man said there's no question about it. So when the man was trying to compare different, social maladies and social upheavals that take place in our world, he said, don't compare them. It's like somebody comparing oranges with strawberries, with berries. There's no comparison. Berries is the stronger of the two, or the strongest. If I was to put in another fruit that has a lot of antioxidants in it. So there's no comparison. He said, look at it. Ukraine's situation there. It took them a year and a half to get in all the necessary resources they need to fight the war. But look at Haiti. Haiti today is in a terrible state. And you can't get people to even put together the right thing to bring that country to normality. And the Palestine and so on and other countries. Yet for the Ukraine, they did it. And he was alluding to because Haiti has predominantly black people there. So when he's talking about, basically, why is it that they would have to pay? What kind of a question is that? The descendants of the ancestors need reparation. They need the money. It's not only about money. They stole the time from our people. Today, you probably would not have had like white supremacists, and you probably wouldn't have black supremacists, but everybody would be on equal terms. In terms of earning financially, in terms of being in certain positions. Look at even in terms of a president post of the United States. It's a wonder. It was calculated. No disrespect to the former president Barack Obama, but look how many years before a mixed black man at that, became the president. One in how many? How many? How many? 40 presidents, and just one decade one. We still then find his ancestry still kind of mixed, not even unauthentic. No disrespect to him. Black. What kind of a nonsense are we talking about why you have to pay us back? The descendants. It's not about the descendants per se. They benefited from the backs and the toil and the terror and the horror of slavery. These descendants benefited from it. So that's nonsense to be asking the man these questions, and I'm glad he handled himself with strength and with vigor and with fervor. Brilliantly answered. Brilliantly answered. Black people across the Caribbean need their repatriation money, and Jamaica is one of the countries that got it worse. A man was saying that one of the reasons why we hate homosexuality so much here, it was that it was used to dehumanize the man in front of his family. And you understand what I'm talking about? The buggering was used to dehumanize, and so a definitive hatred is even strongest here in comparison to our other Caribbean counterparts. We have been treated terribly in terms of the black race from our ancestors. So yes, we need the money because of them. A lot of black people suffering to this day. You often wonder why black people stay behind. You said yes, they're still entangled in slavery, but sometimes you can't even blame them because they never had the right tools to pull them out properly. The others had a leeway. They had capital. They had ways to get out. So yes, we need it. Give us our repatriation. And I don't want to hear that the money is not supposed to be given to people individually. Give it to them individually. You've got other monies to fix up the country. Use it to fix up the country and do this and that and the other. Give it to the people individually too. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this message, please.